Hello everyone, my name is Braden, this is Airless Quill 9, and in today's video, we are going to take a look at half dragons. These are warriors created by dragons, and we have a lot to talk about in today's video, so let's go ahead and get straight to it. So, first off, half dragons are born through magical rites involving the essences of dragons. Half dragons serve their creators and their own draconic whims. Most half dragons are created by chromatic dragons who desire servants with some trace of their own might and grandeur. Half dragons frequently command other servants of a villainous dragon or act as agents in lands where their draconic master would attract unwanted attention. Half dragons actually share personality traits and agendas with the dragon who spawned them. Those resembling chromatic dragons typically loathe their creator even as they seek the same ends. Half dragons with the traits of metallic dragons are especially rare, but they might arise through accidental magical events, the efforts of reckless magic users, or the last act of a dying dragon. We have this fabulous art by artist Matthias Kohlroos for the half dragon, and you can really see there is just some awe-inspiring grandeur about the half dragon. This is a primal bestial creature, and the 2024 stat block is in essence a complete redesign of what it means to be a half dragon. So in today's video, we are going to take a look at the 2024 half dragon stat block. I will talk about all the changes that have been made to it, talk about how it compares to the half red dragon veteran that is present in the 2014 monster manual, and just get into the nitty gritty of what makes this redesign really cool and really potent. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2024 half dragon stat block. All right, so this is the half dragon. They are a medium dragon of neutral alignment. They have an armor class of 18, an initiative of +5. They have 105 hit points, a speed of 40 feet. For their ability scores, they have a strength of 19, a dexterity of 14, a constitution of 16, an intelligence of 10, a wisdom of 15, and a charisma of 14. They are also proficient in dexterity and wisdom at saving throws, coincidentally the same saving throws that dragons are proficient in. For skills, they have athletics at +7, perception at +5, and stealth at +5. Resistances, this is dependent on the damage type that is chosen for the draconic origin trait below. We will talk about that in just a second. Senses, the half dragon has blind sight of 10 feet, dark vision of 60 feet, and a passive perception of 15. Languages, they know Common and Draconic. They are a challenge rating 5 with 1,800 experience points and a proficiency bonus of +3. For their traits, they have Draconic Origin. Draconic Origin states that the half dragon is related to a type of dragon associated with one of the following damage types of the Dungeon Master's choice: acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. This choice affects other aspects of the stat block, typically that damage resistance and some other traits further down. Actions. The half dragon has a multi-attack that allows it to make 2 claw attacks. The claw is a melee attack roll, they +7 to hit and a reach of 10 feet. On a hit, it deals 1d4 +4 slashing damage plus 2d6 damage of the type chosen for the Draconic Origin trait. Dragon's Breath. This is on a recharge of 5 to 6. It is a dexterity saving throw, DC 14. Each creature in a 30-foot cone is affected by this action. And on a failure, a target takes 8d6 damage of the type chosen for the Draconic Origin trait. And on a success, they take half damage. Finally, we also have some bonus action traits. This comes in the form of Leap. Leap allows the half dragon to jump up to 30 feet by spending 10 feet of movement. There's a lot that I want to say about the stat block because this is just such a cool redesign, but it's impossible for me to really state how much has changed for this stat block without showing you the next slide. So this is a underline of just about everything that has changed in the stat block. So 2014, the half dragon was a template that you would get to add to stat blocks. So what they've done in 2024 is they've completely done away with the idea of a template, and now they just have a flat stat block for the half dragon, which honestly I'm okay with. I don't love templates just because it's such a hassle to add them to a stat block without completely for myself as a dungeon master, I would need to recreate the stat block with the templates added in so that I know exactly what I'm running without forgetting anything. So this redesign is just really cool, but let's go ahead and talk about all of the changes to the half dragon here. So first off, the half dragon is now a dragon. It is no longer a humanoid. So that's a really cool change. Neutral, of course, has replaced any alignment in the stat block. This is because neutral is WotC's placeholder, which means that this stat block could be any alignment. They've just reduced the letters basically for this. So neutral just means any alignment for those who are curious about that change, because they can range between any alignment since they are in the neutral category. Next up, the half dragon has proficiency in dexterity. In initiative rolls. So they now have a +5 to initiative rolls, which they did not have before. And that's not it. In hit points, the half dragon now has 105 hit points, and in 2014 it had 65. So they have gained 40 hit points for this redesign, which is a lot of hit points. So they've gone from 10 hit dice to 14 hit dice. And you may be asking, why only 4? That's the math doesn't math, and that's because there's been other changes too. Speed has been increased from 2014. It used to be 30 feet. It is now 40 feet. And now we're going to get into ability scores. These have changed considerably. This is, like I said, an entirely new stat block, essentially. So strength has been increased from 16 to 19, which has changed all those modifiers in there. Dexterity has been increased from 13 to 14, which has not only changed modifiers, but they also now have proficiency in dexterity saving throws, which they did not have before. Constitution has been increased from 14 to 16, which has also changed those modifiers. Wisdom has been increased from 14 to 15, which has changed those modifiers. And they are also now proficient in wisdom saving throws, which they were not previously. And charisma has been increased from 10 to 14, which has changed all those modifiers. So overall, completely new stats, besides intelligence, which is quite insane. Not only that, because of all those modifier changes, athletics has been increased from what was a +5 now to a +7. I guess that modifier was wrong in 2014. Go figure. Perception has been increased from +2 to +5, which is great. And the half dragon has also gained stealth as a skill, which is present at a +5. So that is a nice addition there. Like I've said, the resistances, this is now dependent on the Draconic Origin trait, which is completely new for this stat block. And the Draconic Origin trait just really determines the resistance damage type and then the damage types that are included in the new Claw and the Dragon's Breath attacks. Perception has also coincidentally increased from 12, or the passive perception rather, has increased from 12 to 15. And then we're going to get into the actions. So actions, the multi-attack is completely different because this is not a half red dragon veteran anymore. This is a half dragon. So they have a completely new multi-attack, which allows them to make 2 claw attacks. So, this is essentially entirely new. So the claw attack, +7 to hit, reach 10 feet, which is a greater reach than any of the attacks that the half red dragon veteran had. The damage is also double what the longsword or the short sword or the heavy crossbow dealt in the 2014 stat block template. So that is crazy there. And then the Dragon's Breath, which is basically just the redesign of the breath weapon in the 2014 stat block, has also seen some changes. So the DC for the breath weapon has gone down to a 14. This is because the breath weapon is now scaling correctly off of the actual stat block and is not just a template that is added onto a pre-existing stat block. So now that modifier can change to what it should be mechanically. Coincidentally, the breath weapon also had its range increased. It is now a 30-foot cone where it was previously a 15-foot cone, so that is pretty nice. And now the damage has been also increased from 78 to 8, or 76 to 8d6 in the 2024 version. And that's not even it. We also have an entirely new bonus action for the half dragon stat block, and that is Leap, which honestly I think is one of the coolest bonus actions in 2024. Just by expending 10 feet of movement, the half dragon can jump 30 feet, which is crazy to think about. And I really like Leap mechanically because that essentially gives the stat block 70 feet of movement, because yeah, just by expending 10 feet, it can jump 30 feet, which is additional movement essentially. So I really love this redesign. This is a cool stat block. This really gives the aura of the half dragon perfectly, especially the new art that we have for the half dragon, which I'll go back to because it's just such a cool art piece. Just a really neat stat block, fits the new redesign of the half dragon, really encompasses this artwork, and yeah, I'm really impressed with this redesign here. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the half dragon. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you think of this redesign, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this on my channel. Until the next video, thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all later.